Welcome back to Crime Cuisine. Tonight, our journey takes us to the heart of Central Asia, where a simple dish of hospitality concealed an international crisis. This is The Missing Leader and the Gold in the Rice, a geopolitical thriller from 1998. The central figure, a powerful, exiled political leader who vanished mid-flight, taking with him the secret location of his nation's treasury. The key wasn't in his luggage or coded letters. It was hidden inside a massive ceremonial Plov served on a secret transit jet. One desperate loyalist had to smuggle a vital microchip containing the treasury coordinates out of the country, using the texture and volume of the rice as the ultimate camouflage. How do you hide a priceless microchip in a mountain of rice? And how did investigators find the secret without tasting every single grain? Don't let this secret vanish. Subscribe to Crime Cuisine now and join our high-stakes investigation. The victim was leader Qasim Zafar, forced into exile but carrying the hopes and the fortune of his nation. He was traveling on a highly secured private jet across the Caspian region, accompanied by his loyal assistant, Amir, and an international security detail. Mid-flight, Zafar mysteriously vanished. The cockpit was locked, the doors sealed. The plane landed with Zafar gone, leaving behind only his coat and a half-eaten bowl of ceremonial plov, the last meal served before his disappearance. The plov was massive, a single pot containing hundreds of servings, prepared with specific regional rice, lamb, carrots, and spices. It was a gesture of respect, a distraction, or perhaps a message. Investigator Layla Karim, a specialist in regional smuggling routes, took the case. She immediately dismissed the theory of Zafar being thrown out of the plane. The windows were intact. Zafar had to have left a clue. Karim realized the solution wasn't in the food, but because of the food. Plov is dense. Rice grains are uniform. Amir, Zafar's loyal assistant, was a genius with numbers and was the last person seen with the plov pot before Zafar vanished. Amir was also missing. The microchip containing the treasury coordinates was tiny, just a few millimeters wide. Hiding it in the general plov was impossible. It would be lost forever. Amir's plan was to use the structural integrity and volume of the rice itself. Amir substituted a specific calculated volume of cooked rice with a volume of micro-capsules. These micro-capsules were made of edible rice starch, slightly larger than actual rice grains, but colored and textured to match the surrounding pilath. Inside one of these capsules was the precious microchip. Amir then ensured Zafar only ate a small, specific portion. The rest of the plov, containing the evidence, was intended for the security crew who would eventually smuggle it out in their food containers, unknowingly carrying the chip to a designated contact point. Layla knew she couldn't examine every grain. She focused on the texture and consistency of the remaining plov. She noticed that the volume of the rice seemed slightly too large for the amount of lamb and carrots used, suggesting an additive. Using a highly controlled sieve, Layla sifted the plov, looking for any inconsistency. The starch capsules, being slightly larger and less dense than the actual rice, tended to float towards the top during the settling process. Finally, she found it. A small cluster of 5 slightly larger, softer starch capsules near the surface of the pot. Inside the last one was the microchip. The coordinates led not to money, but to Zafar's safe house in Vienna, where he had been hiding, having faked his disappearance. But the mystery wasn't over. Why Plov? Why the strong spices? Layla realized that Amir had used a culinary trick common in his region, the careful blending of spices. The micro-capsules, made of rice starch, tasted faintly sweet. To mask this sweetness, Amir overloaded the plov with a specific, pungent type of cumin, zira, and a sharp red pepper, capsicum. The intensity of the spices, which Zafar had complained about, was the final subtle confirmation of the existence of a foreign body in the rice. Amir used the spices as a chemical shield against detection by taste. The case of the gold in the rice taught investigators a valuable lesson. Never assume that food served in an international setting is merely a formality. When the stakes are high and loyalty is absolute, even a ceremonial dish becomes a sophisticated hiding spot. The most valuable treasures are often sealed away, not in vaults, but beneath layers of flavor and tradition. Thank you for joining us on Crime Cuisine. The truth is in the taste. Don't let the next secret slip away. Subscribe to Crime Cuisine now and join us for the next international investigation.